You always just gotta act when that defenders.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
Thank you very much for that, Ian Wright. Another day, another DG video. People deluded, I'm back again. Appreciative to have all of you lot tuned in. Please do me a favor, comment when this premieres, comment in the comment section after, smash the like button, turn on your notifications, check out the other content / playlist, and make sure you're following on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of that good stuff, Instagram. You know, help the engagement, help the platform get out there. Information is in the descriptions. Check out all the other videos I'm pretty sure you see popping to the left and right of me throughout the course of this. Now we're going to talk about Fresenada, we're going to talk about Thomas Partey, and while it's not signed on the dotted line, allegedly Bukayo Saka has moved ever closer to signing a contract worth 15 million a year, 300 odd grand a week, just under, according to what reports you read. Everyone's got their own sort of bits and pieces in journalism to add to it. We don't know. For me, the fact is the man, as long as the man confirms his deal, who cares really? Saka deserves his money, really. We've given it to players who don't deserve it. So let's crack straight into this. As usual, appreciative to everybody tuned in. I hope you're all doing well and safe. And again, we did go over this yesterday, but for those that were missing, check out the video from yesterday. Bukayo Saka's new contract will see him earn almost 5. Well, I don't even know that. This is how eye-watering the figures are. 15 million a season at Arsenal, with inform winger set to be the best paid player at the Gunners on 300k a week. He deserves it. He's the poster boy. He's the star boy. He's getting better and better. And obviously this ties him down. And if and when one day comes that a team wants to pry him away from us, they've got to pay top guala. At 21 years of age, you hope he signs a 4 or 5 year deal, 4 year with an option of a 5th minimum, or outright 5-year deal. That takes him to around 26. And within that time, if he keeps doing what he's doing and we keep moving forward, not just him, but several players will sign an improved deal. Bukayo Saka will earn close to 15 million a season when he finally signs his new contract with Arsenal. The Gunners attacker is emerging as one of the players of the season and underlined his emergence as one of Europeans football premier footballers on Sunday with a brilliant goal in England's 2-0 win over Ukraine. Sportsmail exclusively revealed last month that Saka had agreed a deal in principle worth a minimum of 10 million a year. However, sources have indicated that the true value of his deal, inclusive of bonuses and other attached payments, is closer to 15 million a year, taking his weekly wage to around 300k per week. Now, I hope Saka's getting a base salary of 300k a week, but I don't think that is going to be the case. There's probably a lot of collective and individual bonuses, whether he achieves things with England, whether he achieves Champions League qualification, winning trophies with Arsenal, whether he hits certain seasonal targets, you know, goals and assists, whether there's a goal scoring bonus, whether there's, you know, it rises with inflation, whether there's a nice signing on bonus. You know, there's a lot of things that could be added to his thing. Who knows? There might be some sort of loyalty bonus based on the duration of his contract and how long he's been at Arsenal, and other little fancy thingamajigs. But he deserves it. It's nice to see Arsenal are moving proactive, not just with Saka, but potentially Saliba, Martinelli. You know, we hear Odegaard, Ramsdale, Benjamin White are next in line to sign new deals. Balogun and Thomas Partey are contracted until 2025 on paper, so we'll have to assess that, really. Obviously, there's going to be some concerns about, you know, will the money get to his head? You know, we've seen Salah have a bit of a fall off even when he signed a new deal, even though statistics display that is nonsense. Aubameyang as well. I don't think Saka is that sort of person. Money has corrupted a lot of good characters, but I don't think money will get to him. I think Saka is just focused on his football. And obviously, when you keep improving like he has done, you know, on the football pitch, everything you get off the football pitch is a result of what you offer in life, really. You know, him doing the business, being the star boy, being the go-to man for Arsenal, sees his brand. Actually, I don't like to refer to footballers as that, but you see his brand rising. Man's with the Kardashians, he's getting new sponsorships. You think of Arsenal currently, you know, Bukayo Saka is one of the players that comes to mind. So it's nice to see him rewarded with a deal. And things like that. Again, while everything Saka is touching is turning to gold, you know, he has had a bit of adversity in his career, missing a penalty for England. There will obviously be periods where he's not scoring near enough every game, where he's going through bits and pieces of form. I don't wish that on him. That's just the reality. In relation to the money he's earning, I don't really care, because obviously you can see 21 years of age earning 15 million. I'm all for it, you know, do your thing. It's not my money. I love to see the young IC3s getting paid in that. But in any walk of life, if he was a stockbroker, a trader, a doctor or anything else, if his talent, like in any other job, if his talent warrants being paid top money, then, you know, I don't think you're going to tell a 21-year-old doctor, 21-year-old stockbroker, or whatever trade or example you want to apply, that you can't earn any sort of money, really, you know. And let's have it right. Arsenal are not going to commit 15 million a season on this contract if they're not making more off him, whether that's what he's doing on the pitch or off it. You know, that goes for every footballer of every club. You know, we got to remember, I hate to refer to football as that, but it is a business. It'd be unsustainable if they were to give him that. So we'll have to see, people. The contract once signed will make Saka the best paid player at the club and one of the biggest earners in Arsenal's history. So yeah, it's nice to see that, really and truly. We obviously, with Mesut Ozil, it didn't bang. The deal, however, will be short of Mesut Ozil's previous 350k per week salary at the Emirates Stadium. The 21-year-old has become a vital player for club and country over the last 12 months. 12 months, maybe for countries, really taking it up a level. You know, just a few while ago, Southgate was forcing him to play left back. Now he's the poster boy for club and country and is the best, you know, one of the best players in the world on current form, and is definitely one of the best performing England players on current form. And that right wing is his to lose, really and truly. So it makes sense. A host of clubs, including Manchester City, have been monitoring Saka's future, given his current deal is due to expire at the end of next season. But Saka has privately made clear he wants to stay in North London, having been convinced of the club's direction under Arteta. The forward is eager to start his Champions League career, and barring an almighty collapse, Arsenal qualify for the competition for the first time since 2016-17 season. So it's nice to see. And obviously, where Arteta signed a new deal not too long ago, Edu got a new sort of role in the club. Players are signing new deals. Obviously, it's where Edu and Stan and Josh Kroenke are concerned, it's not really as big of a deal, but they've moved into co-chairs. So it tells us that we're moving in the right direction. And it tells Saka that we're not just trying to make this season an anomaly, a blip. We're trying to make this the minimum, fighting for titles, bringing in players who can do these things, and there's stability at the football club. You know, Saka shined in and amongst chaos at this football club. Let's be honest, him and Smith Rowe, probably Saka, because he come around when Emery was here, respectfully to the old gaffer, because it weren't all his fault. It was Kalas, really. And Saka was a shining light in a dark period, and now his light is shining even brighter now that Mikel Arteta and the rest of the boys are all singing from the same hymn sheet. So big up Bukayo Saka and shout out Martinelli. Fabrizio Romano's added his 2 pence. Saka will sign his new contract very soon. No change in plans, as verbal agreement is in place since February last month. 3 clubs, 2 from England and 1 from abroad, we're monitoring Saka's contract situation since long time, but no way he's staying. So yeah, big up to him. He's staying at the football club. I'd imagine that's Liverpool and probably Manchester City. Could be United, could even be Chelsea. I'm sure everybody was, and from at home and abroad, really and truly, are looking at Bukayo Saka. He's got his best years in front of him. He's one of the best performing players. As much as we can see, he's got ability. He's a 1v1 demon. You know, he's got good link-up play. Obviously, scores and assists. And his best quality is he's always available. You know, such as Southgate running him into the ground, really. And he's consistent. So that is something you want to see a footballer. And I'm sure everybody in Europe had, you know, were monitoring developments, as we should be doing if this was Saka, I don't know, somebody else. You know, I'm pretty sure every club in the Prem and abroad is monitoring what goes on with Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. We all know he stays, but good players always wanted. So it is what it is. Nice to see we're getting somewhere with Bukayo Saka. And again, people, for minutes played, you know, he ranks 4th this season for Arsenal. For goal involvements, he's been involved in 22 in the Premier. He ranks 1st. For goals, he has 12. He's 2nd. For assists, he has 10. That's 1st. So yeah, goals and assists are what wingers are gonna, or inside forwards are gonna live or die by. It's not all that you need to bring to the game, and especially Mikel Arteta. I actually feel Saka's improved a lot defensively, people, but he's making a difference, and I think he genuinely believes when he gets into goal scoring opportunities, I genuinely think he believes he's going to bag now. And I also believe the penny's dropped. It's not just gone from a young man living the dream, playing with the Premier League stars that you used to play on FIFA. It's dropped that I am Bukayo Saka. I am the guy for Arsenal, and we're in the most humblest way. I'm going to make the difference week in, week out. Good, bad games, good or bad form, it comes with being a footballer. But I think it takes, you know, he takes it in his stride. And I don't quite agree with this statement, but for want of better terms, maybe missing that penalty in the Euros was the best thing that happened to him, because these moments happen. So it's nice to see Saka, Martinelli and the rest of them are signing new deals. Let's not forget Smith Rowe, who's out injured. has been out injured and played for the under-21s, also signed a new deal. And I think Arteta on Saka last year in August said it the best, really. He has to be a ruthless winner. That's it. Simple. That's his mentality. That's what he needs to do. He has this ability. Now he's going through a place in his career and he needs to go to the next level. And again, it further testaments how good Mikel Arteta is, not just in terms of the coaching and the tactics, but, you know, provoking thought in his players. He's done this with Saka. He's done this with Smith Rowe. I'd implore you all to look at his Balogun's comments about when he was departing on loan and what Arteta said. He challenged him to develop as a man. And we've seen in the All or Nothing, Mikel Arteta is very good at giving the players information, providing them with information, but also sometimes the answers are within. So I think he asks his questions a bit like Wenger, who he played under, you know, in provoking that sort of thought and changing mentality. And that's also testament to Arteta. But the players, Arteta can have all the ideas he wants. If he's not able to provoke that inspiration in the players to take the information, retain it, and actually kill him for more and more information, like you see with these players, it's irrelevant. So Saka just typifies what Arteta is doing at the club. Hopefully it continues. So yeah, Arteta, in my opinion, said it best. When you look at his goal involvements for England, 7 goals and 3 assists, 10 goal involvements, you know, in his last 16 games. This is why my man's the poster boy. If we move on, allegedly Thomas Partey missed out playing for Ghana because he's got a small knock. We need to remember, on one hand, that could cause concern. On the other, that could actually be a precaution. And it's nice to see that Arsenal's physio was sent to Ghana, because maybe he said, listen, I know you lot are trying to achieve what you are trying to achieve, but we need to look after our players. For what it's worth, though, Arsenal have been dealt a possible injury concern with midfielder Thomas Partey, a doubt for the trip to Liverpool on the 9th of April, which is obviously scary because we've got to deal with Leeds and we know we've got Saliba. Charles Watts has weighed in. Arsenal suffer Thomas Partey injury worry ahead of crucial Leeds United clash, people. Thomas Partey will fly back to Arsenal, having missed Ghana's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Angola on Monday due to injury. He did play 90 minutes for Ghana on Thursday. He felt a problem in his leg during a training session on Sunday. Arsenal's win percentage drops to 50% from 65% when Thomas Partey, the Ghana international, doesn't play in midfield. And this is why that's the only thing you can criticize with Thomas Partey. He's relatively been injury fit this season, but, you know, the ability is not in question. What he gives to the team and Mikel Arteta individually and collectively, it goes without saying. And I believe of recent, the last 4, 5, 6 games, Partey has really played very well, starting from whenever he came on. Before that, but I would say, if you're looking for a guide point, I would say when he came off the bench against Everton, really. So this is probably why we need another number 6. And as I said, he's contracted until 2025. He's at that age now where we've got to decide. I think he's loved by Mikel Arteta and the coaching staff. He's clearly adored by his teammates and obviously the players. But if we can't bet on your fitness, we don't know. And if we're going to be in the Champions League and trying to have a season, next season, what we're having now, regardless of how it feels, we probably either need to shift our importance away from him, similar to Tierney and Tomiyasu, also good players, but can't really bet on their fitness. Or we kind of sign up for this. So we'll have to see, people, really and truly. Arsenal expecting Thomas Partey back at London Coley on Tuesday, which is today, where they'll assess the midfielder who was accompanied to Ghana by the Gunners physio Simon Murphy ahead of this weekend's home game versus Leeds. Leeds, who also have their own injury issues. The former Atletico Madrid star felt something in his right leg during the training session with his country on Sunday. Sources close to the player insist it's not a hamstring injury and believe he should be fine for Saturday's game at the Emirates. Chris Hughton, who is the Ghana manager, is understood to have taken the decision to let Partey out on his own. There was no outside pressure from Arsenal, despite the presence of Murphy. The Gunners' medical team will make a decision in the week on whether the 29-year-old can feature against Leeds. Arsenal travelled to Liverpool the following weekend for a huge game at Anfield as they chase their first Premier League title since 2004. Should Partey miss out this Saturday, Jorginho would most likely be the man to come in and replace him in midfield. As respectfully to Jorginho, I'm not sure we want to see that at Anfield, even though you have my support. I am proud. Player asked directly about Arsenal's interest. He's learning English. This is in relation to Fresenada of Real Valladolid, a player that we've been chasing for a while. Arsenal were regularly named as one of the clubs interested in signing Real Valladolid's Ivan Fresenada in the winter market. A deal didn't take shape in the last window, and the right-back's agent has admitted his client wants to leave the La Liga side in a historic sale. Earlier this month, reports from Italy have stated Arsenal have the financial advantage over Juventus in the race for the 18-year-old signature. Fresenada is with Spain's under-19s. I thought it'd be at least with the 21s. That gave AS a chance to have a chat with him, where they specifically asked him about reports linking him to Arsenal, Juventus and Dortmund. I am proud, but I always say I'm also at a big club, Valladolid. Allegedly, the player is learning English and German. He could just learn that from a human point of view. Footballers have a lot of free time. He's been linked with Dortmund and he's been linked with Arsenal and other German and English clubs. So that could be something we don't know. He's preparing for something. When asked whether that's related to the future, to move to the Premier League or the Bundesliga, he said, I have always valued studies with a view to the future beyond football. I'm a person who likes to learn languages. His current market value is 10 million euros. He then went on to say, well, that's because I have more games in the first division than the rest. It's been my turn now, and the rest will play them in a very short period of time. So we'll have to see where Fresenada is concerned. We've spoken about this Strasbourg defender Ismail Decore before. Arsenal and Newcastle are allegedly keen on him. Arsenal and Newcastle are both showing a strong interest in Salzburg French teenager Ismail Decore. I mean, Wenger's from Salzburg. I'm sure he could give us the lowdown. We've spoken about him before. Anything that comes out of France, you have to be attentive. The 19-year-old is quickly emerging as one of the best young defenders in Liga and is currently part of France's under-20 squad that is in Marbella for a youth tournament against England, Netherlands, and the United States. 90 Minute understands that almost every Premier League club has been represented by scouts at the tournament, naturally with Decore one of the standout players attracting significant interest. Arsenal and Newcastle have both been watching Decore since last year and have been impressed by what they've seen, while PSG, Sevilla, and Atalanta are among the clubs tracking him, people. So we'll have to see exactly how that develops, people, really and truly. Again, in terms of quick injury updates on everybody involved at Arsenal Football Club, we've spoken about Thomas Partey, William Saliba. We don't know if he's actually going to be involved. There's still not clarity. Reports in France claim Saliba is facing a number of weeks on the sidelines in what could be a huge blow to their title hopes. Tomiyasu's season is done, as we know. Eddie Nketiah is working his way back to fitness. He's getting better. He's still in the boot and still a few weeks away. We need to be patient. It was a nasty injury and he has big challenge ahead of him. Thank God it could have been worse, so he's not in a bad place. We also know Mohamed El Nene will play no part like Thomas Partey of anything for the season. Anyone fancy a good old laugh? Neil Warnock a year ago. Funny how a year's changed. Conte was complaining about Mikel Arteta. Now you've been served your P45 at Arsenal. Regardless of how this season ends, we just keep getting better and better. As a player, I would say Spurs are more attractive a club to join than Arsenal. There's a lack of leaders at both clubs and neither can guarantee trophies. The difference is Conte, who gives Spurs that edge, real leadership, and he's a born winner. Doesn't matter what he is if they're not singing from the same hymn sheet, really and truly. Again, just even when Spurs finished 6 years above us, you could see what they were trying to develop, or 7 actually. Let's not kid ourselves. Spurs have never ever been a more attractive proposition to sign for if you want to have stuff than Arsenal. You know, Spurs are praised for the same things that Arsenal are crucified for, and that's no disrespect to Spurs. There's levels in this thing, really. A bit like with Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. Any of these teams don't win stuff. Spurs are not born winners. Winning is not everything. Winning is not the minimum. There's not a there's a massive golfing class in how both people do things, both clubs better yet, respectively. Yeah, Conte can have all the ideas, but it's not really about a manager now. The whole club has to sing from the same hymn sheet. What we're doing currently with Mikel Arteta, what City have had under Pep Guardiola for the last few years, what Klopp has had at Liverpool. You know, Ten Hag is going to be a great manager for United, but if they don't help him on and off the field and all fragments of the club, he will suffer the same fate as other managers, really. And to be fair to Conte, by that same logic, Spurs kill their managers. There's got to be a reason they've had Jose and Conte not won anything. It does feel at Spurs like there'll be a ceiling that any manager will hit under the Enid group / Levy, but they've spent money, really and truly. You know, I think Conte actually has a high end. Again, if you delve into it, there's probably some reasons, but I don't think you can just blame the club. Conte has had the highest net spend, I believe, in the last few years of any Spurs manager. So you've got to deliver as well. And to be honest, he leaves them in fourth. You know, arguably United got a couple of games in hand, but third is achievable, really. So when United look a lot more healthier, clearly. Spurs, they look like they're in disarray. But when you look at the cold, hardcore data, there's still a lot to play for Tottenham, for everybody, really. You know, you look through the whole season, you don't know where the Premier League title is going to go. You don't know who's going to get Europa League, Conference League, or Champions League places. You don't know who's going to finish in the top 10 necessarily. You don't know who is actually going to get relegated from this division. So we say it every year, but this season is shaping up to be the best one yet for everyone involved. Finally, apparently our home kit for next season, apologies, has been released. I think this will have to grow on me. I'm not really attracted to it straight away, people. Let me know your thoughts on everything we're covering. Smash the like button, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications. At the time of making this vid, I will be live at 2 p.m. with Mwamba. I don't know what to make of that personally, people. I think it would have to grow on me, really. So we'll have to see. On that note, though, as I said, make sure you're hitting the like button, you're commenting, you're subscribing, you're helping us push our platform. Appreciative for what we've got, 54,000 subscribers and counting. Make sure you're supporting on Twitch, over 7K over there. Journey to 10K and 70K on YouTube, respectively. Can't do it without you lot. I appreciate you lot tuning in. I'm very appreciative of you lot support. Please let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. But most importantly, stay in good health, stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll either see you at 2 p.m. or some other time. One love.
First, as always, is that active and defending.
I think it's like